I have a calm and peaceful cat on my lap. We'll see how long that lasts. Happy Monday. I thought we'd dive into one of the topics I think is most profound of all topics, if not the most profound, and that's the topic of prayer. I think we could talk about prayer week after week, year after year for eternity, and this great power of prayer that we're given. But I'm going to make a rather startling, shocking claim, and that is most all of us at this phase of our development, if we're here on this earth, um, we're really in a learning phase when it comes to prayer. We're learning about it, and most of us are pretty bad at it. And uh, the reason I'm saying this is that I don't think any of us can instantly manifest something, and yet we hear stories of the great sages and saints, the masters whose prayers are immediately answered. Are they a different species than we are? Or have they in some way elevated their capacity and their knowledge and their application and their experience with prayer? And they know its dynamics at the deepest levels so that when they pray, um, eyes are opened and bodies are healed. And I think you get the idea. Now, this is not to say that we don't have power in prayer. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that whatever power we do have, I think it's um, astonishingly small in relation to the power that we can have and the power that we will have. And so we can always learn more and more about prayer. And nothing could be more valuable to us. There's no activity or skill that we can develop. And there are a lot of other cool skills, accounting, architecture, parenthood, musicianship. There's all these great skills, and yet you can add up all those skills and they pale in comparison to the power of prayer and the power of prayer to deliver to us true peace and true place in this universe. And so uh, I realized last week, and had never been able to really put it into these words. I'd never thought about it before, but I'm definitely a universalist. On Friday, we talked about a particular line that a spiritual writer had written, and I just realized there are so many different ways to God. And if I'm a universalist, it means I'm not a fundamentalist per se. I'm not judging fundamentalism other than within my own being. And I just think God is so loving that God makes an infinite number of ways to come back. And they're all perfectly legitimate if they are all perfectly applied with diligence, persistence, sincerity, and that all spiritual principles are met at all levels. If we do that, that's, I think, our way home is assured. And because of that, I listen to a lot of different spiritual teachers, and I managed to be flipping around through various talks, and I found one of my very favorites, Eckhart Tolle, the Power of Now guy, and I like him because he refers to scriptures from all around the world, but he was talking about the power of prayer, and because I'm fascinated in that, he isolated one line from Christian scripture that I found to be very important to me. And the reason it's important to me is that I think we all have times in our lives when there's something, not so much that we really want, but something that we really need. And to what degree can prayer deliver to us? How quickly can we manifest with great immediacy the thing that we most need? And here's what Eckhart Tolle reminded me last night. It's Mark 11:24. And in that, Jesus says, and again, I'm a universalist. Jesus says, I tell you, you can pray for anything. And if you believe that you've received it, it will be yours. So that's the key thing that Eckhart Tolle reminded me of last night. If you believe that you've received it in the present tense, not that you're going to receive it. The differential here is a vast. It almost can't be measured. The directive of the greatest prayer who ever lived said, if you pray and with the knowledge that you've already received it, what could be more challenging than to do this? Because when you need something, generally we really need it because we don't have it. I think I'm really getting down to some basics here. And I know that for me, this is going to make a big difference. There's something in my life that I really need right now. And a good deal of my consciousness is sort of paying attention to the fact that I don't have it right now. So this spiritual teacher came along to remind me to pray from the place of I've already received it. And this is such powerful instruction, I don't think it can be overemphasized. So he went on to say, and this is something that I've taught my whole life, but it's easy for me to forget when I'm in the really need something phase, and that is to calm myself down, to go into the center of my being and feel into the deepest felt part of me and feel that the thing most needed, that I already have it. Not that it's missing, not that I'm frantic, not that, oh my God, or not that, what am I going to do, or not that, what's going to happen, or blah, 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 blah. All that's praying from a place of not having it. And so I remembered, and I felt like I made a good progress in prayer because I calmed down. I went deep into the center of my being. I felt around for my deepest felt sense of being, and then I shaped and molded and embedded and imbued my current sense of feeling with, I have received this most important thing. I feel the gratitude, I feel the appreciation, I feel the thankfulness, I feel the relief, I feel the exhilaration, the joy of having it. And then I embedded that deep inside of myself. And I truly believe this is the greatest key to prayer, is to pray when you really need something, to get over the feeling that we don't have it and get deeply into the feeling that we do have it, and to shape our inner feeling. And when that is done, when that prayer is said, it's received. It says it right there. I don't think these spiritual masters are kidding when they say, it will be yours. That's not a human promise. That's a spiritual promise. Anyway, we'll talk about this all week long. Have a great holiday, and I'll see you tomorrow.